There's a lot of fluidity in Spirit's messages lately. I'm going to do my absolute best, but it's been definitely different than what I've been used to. It maybe just feels a little less grounded and more flowing. So I'll try my best to ground it all as we go through this. Venus in water signs are really important here for today's message. If you have a water sign in like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in Venus, that could be really important, but I don't think this is literal. It could also be clarifying a manifestation method to me that is coming through. The way that you manifest is highly intuitive and uses emotions more than the mind. It's almost like your energy behaves like water. It absorbs, conducts, and almost amplifies. And that's really important with today's message. I think this reading will speak strongest if you tend to feel things first and understand them later. That's the kind of person I'm channeling for today. On that note, there's a lot of details with this reading, so always check the descriptions for what I pull and what I'm channeling specifically. Sometimes it's literally just too much to explain in the reading, so I need a second home to compile it all for you. So always check out those details there if it resonates and if you're interested in the details. We're narrowing in on a collective of people that are very, very good manifestors. That's very important. That's at the forefront of what I'm being shown. I think the reason you're so good is because you seem to use deep emotions to pull energy to work for you. Whether that's conscious or not, emotions are heavily tied to your manifestation powers. It seems the message today is for someone who keeps asking for something, whether it be specific or non-specific. There's repetition here and you asking the universe for something. I see some of you might be focused on manifesting, but that's only if you have a clear idea of what you want. If it's not clear, you definitely know what you don't want. So you may be asking in a way that kind of removes the reality of what you don't want from what you're asking for. It's almost as if you're focusing on what you don't want, and that's the way that you're asking for what you do. All right, now this one's kind of strange, but the first thing I'm kind of being shown for today's reading is like bees and the Pacific coast. I'm not sure if that resonates with anyone in a literal sense, but I'm reminded of something that's interesting that bees do. If you're not familiar, it's not something everybody knows about. I think it's very niche knowledge. So bees actually gravitate towards salt water. If you're unfamiliar, you wouldn't expect that bees would want salt water. You would think that they're mostly looking for pollen, but they really, really love salt water and they're attracted to the ocean. And the ocean isn't necessarily safe for bees. So what usually happens is it pulls them under. And that's why you see a lot of bees washed up on the beach. I feel like Spirit is using this symbolism here because people don't really think about it, about why bees end up on the beach. But there's a reason here why your asks haven't been granted earlier. Like there's a direct reason for the delay in getting what you want and what you're asking for. Whatever it is that you're asking for, whether it be new love, new income, new life, or just like a general new feeling, Spirit shows that with this thing, there's protection by not granting you those things until you're actually ready. It's like the bees don't know the ocean will harm them until it's too late, and the same goes for you. I feel this is more about wanting you to be able to hold the large blessings and not drown in them. As unfortunate as it feels to be in the waiting space, sometimes that's the biggest blessing. I think what's worse here is not waiting, but then drowning when you get it. So think of the space you're in between as either preparing you to not drown or giving you something else entirely that's much better suited for you. And if you are in that waiting space, if you are asking for something continuously, this message might be for you. This part of the message focuses on those here that have been asking for love. Love is very important. I feel some of you who are asking for love are split between feeling ready, while others don't feel ready, but are hoping someone will kind of make them feel that way. I sense that love is definitely inevitable for this collective I'm talking to. It feels real. It feels like slow burning love. Definitely not the kind maybe you've had in the past. This is a type that is on your time and doesn't make you rush, which might be very different than what you've had. There are people around you at this time who are definitely interested in you, and I see you indifferent to that, maybe. I think why Spirit is pointing that out is there's maybe a message here to carry that indifference elsewhere, not just in these people that are interested in you, that you don't have an interest in. Indifference seems really important for you as this love lands inevitably. There's a message here about that. This indifference energy that you carry, that you're radiating, is amazing energy. It's not settling. It's very much internally focused. This is what brings the highest love for you. And I think you already know that on some level. And you maybe have work to get here, or just healing got you here in the first place. So the message that you maybe don't know is you'll know that this love is really close, this love that's coming, when you stop looking for it all the time, not just some of the time. In the cliche way, we all think of that too, like we're told, stop looking for love and it comes. That's kind of what this message is saying, but I sense this is more specific. Like Spirit is asking you to put that indifference you feel for all these people around you and apply that generally to love as a whole and have it be more consistent rather than once in a while. This means when you're going out to restaurants, you're not looking around. At parties, you're not scoping it out to see if anyone's interested in you. You're not looking online. You may do that sometimes, but there's an inconsistency. Like you do it sometimes and then other times you look. It's on and off. It's not all the time. If you're already doing it, this is your confirmation to continue that indifference and that it's not a bad thing to have neutrality in that way. And you might feel that neutrality is going to backfire in some way. And this is your confirmation. It's not. This message, I think, is to explain how to speed up the process since the love landing for you is inevitable no matter what. It's focusing on how to speed it up. The indifference energy is what attracts this person to your future specifically. And you're already doing it just some of the time. So that's why it's inevitable that they come. It's just a matter of really meaning it. I see here for you. And meaning it means not just being indifferent sometimes, it means all the time. It kind of looks like you can't really trick the universe. Like you have to energetically mean it. This doesn't mean once in a while pretending you don't care and then other times kind of caring. It needs to be all the time within you. And that's really important because you can't trick the laws of energy. Those fractured times that you do care kind of set you back to baseline. When the neutrality is real, alignment arrives much faster. But again, it depends on how quickly you want this, because I really just see it's going to land no matter what. I just sense you're kind of growing slightly impatient, and that's why this message was presented, is it just wants to give you a literal tool to speed it up slightly. So the challenge here is making it consistently indifferent. That's what you're being presented today. And the reason consistency is important for you specifically is because you have such high emotional power in your manifestations and what you attract, which means, unfortunately, you may need to watch yourself when you get inconsistent longings, or every so often you switch to seeking out love, or you switch to looking for it again. What it does when you're doing that is this pulls in energy that you don't already have the thing and that you're desiring it, which is the frequency and energetic of lack. It's saying to the universe, I don't already have this thing and I want it. And you're not doing anything wrong by longing or wanting or desiring. This is very human. In fact, I see the other half of neutrality, like when you are indifferent, balances those moments out anyway. But I think, again, the message here is to highlight that consistent indifference will bring in love much faster than inconsistent indifference. It's just giving you a tool to speed it up, truly. Especially since you're so powerful, you could speed this up 20 times faster if you wanted to. I think what's happening is every time you long, you desire, you look around, even if it's infrequent, is you're kind of setting it back to baseline when you could be pushing it forward. Those dips into lack just bring you back a little bit. It won't stop the thing from coming because it's inevitable. It's meant for you, but it will delay it more. And maybe you don't want to delay it anymore and you're ready for it energetically. So the message for this part of the collective is you can't be okay with being alone sometimes and then other times long for it, even if it's very emotional and human, is because that somewhat fractures the manifestation energy that you're putting out, even just a little bit. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. That doesn't mean anything bad. I think it just means it will be delayed longer. So if you want to speed things up, you may need to control the longing you have for love, and that comes with more consistency and being indifferent to it as a whole. And if you can be truly consistently indifferent, your manifestation powers will be fully tapped into rather than just partially with your current method. I know it's cliche, but this is what people mean when they say it comes right when you stop looking for it, is indifference or neutrality energetically is what directs manifestations the most powerfully without those dips of longing or seeking. Okay, this half of the collective is those who've been asking for an external shift. Some of you aren't interested in love. I see that clearly, and this part of the message is for you. This is for those asking for something maybe outside of the connection spectrum. You might be interested in love, but not in the way that you're actively looking for it, asking for it. So you're more asking for generally a shift in your life. And if that involves love, that's fine. And if not, that's fine too. I think you're just looking for a general feeling. I kind of see this playing out more in your reality, your environment, your work. Something here feels like you want a direct change in some sort of external circumstance. I feel you can simply do better, and you're settling in some way where you are, which kind of just demonstrates, you're at a higher alignment level energetically, but you're settling for lower alignment things right now, and you logically are aware of that. You see the gap there. The message here from Spirit is that there's something pointing at the internal work you're doing and how important it is at this time. I think there might be a message of advice about shifting the way in which you're asking for this thing. It's not wrong, but it's focused on what you don't want versus what you actually do want. And I'll try to explain that as best I can. For example, some of you are asking for a better job because you hate your current job. Some of you are asking for a better location because you're bored with your existing location and you want novelty and excitement. And there's nothing wrong with asking for these things because you don't have them or your current external thing doesn't give you that. And so you ask for the contrast. But I think Spirit is showing that it's through defining that negative that we find clarity about the positive. You are finding that clarity through this process. But the deeper message here is, for those of you who are focused on this external thing, it's that you might not have a specific enough want defined because you're focusing too heavily on what you don't have instead. So with the examples I presented, instead of asking for a new location that's a direct result because you're bored in your current one and you want something more exciting, more reflection here seems to be needed at this time, and not in a bad way. I think you're definitely on a path of defining what you want through this defining what you don't want process. It just might be that you're asking for these things for maybe reasons that aren't clear enough yet. I think it's clear that you don't really need to leave a place because you hate your existing place. That might not be a great enough reason to ask for something. You might want to leave a place because you're in love with a new place, right? It's almost like asking you to find what you love first before you ask for something out of a place of dislike, out of a place of hate. Because when you ask for it out of love, that's the highest way that you could align to your higher self and what your higher self actually does want. But there's nothing wrong with asking for something different because you dislike your current circumstance. I think this is almost similar to the last message, it's just giving you a sharper tool to refine this in. It seems important that I emphasize the ones that want to move or have more fun with a relocation at this time. Spirit asks you, if you are looking or seeking for that specifically, to experiment in small ways, like go on trips, find new locations, feel into these places you think you want, or do more internal reflection to see what it is you're seeking instead of what it is you're not. This last part is maybe a confirmation to those who already instinctively know to do this, but keep leaving comments. The comments themselves do not have to be anything personal about you. Think of these as energetic nudges. This helps me align to your energy more efficiently and be able to channel for you, and I want to be able to do that. I read each and every one, always. None are missed, none are ignored. I am so thankful for each and every one of you and love you all. So, cheers, friends.